Druid got Khan's the Forgotten King. Choose one, gain 10 armor, or refresh your mana crystals. So for 10 mana, you get a 7/7. As a druid, refresh mana crystals. Basically means you play a 0 mana 7/7 for 10 mana, or gain 10 armor. I think it's a bit too hard to get up until 10 mana point. And if you get up until 10 mana, you probably want to play something which will win you the game. And 0 mana 7/7 doesn't really win you the game, because there might be a case where you only have this only card. And then you just gain this 10 armor and you still like losing to control deck because your board is non-existent and you die to fatigue against control warrior. 7/7 is easy to deal with. You want a big threat instead, and druids already have 0 mana 8/8s. Arcane Giants. In most cases on 10 mana it will be Arcane Giant for 0 mana. So I don't think it's a good card. I don't think it will see any play. Even in like really heavy ramp druid deck, it seems underwhelming. There's one exception, I guess, for Astral Communion. It seems good because you get up until 10 really quickly. It's a good top deck to get. You can play it and gain 10 armor. But that's it, I guess. Only for minion deck, I think. Lunar Visions, 5 mana, draw 2 cards, minion drawn costs 2 less. Alright, on paper it's 1 mana, draw 2 cards, if you get discounts and play minions immediately. But you don't. You draw these cards, it might be spells, Druid plays Wrath, Druid plays Swipe, Druid plays Innervate, Druid plays Wild Growth. I would say like even if you play 10 spells, it's already 66% chance to draw minion, 33 to draw spell. If you draw spell, it's just strictly Force Nourish. Seems like a bad card to have, even for a minion-based deck. You probably want to play minion over playing this. Also, Nourish provides you an option to go for a ramp instead of going for a draw. That's why it's kind of good in ramp still. If you play like a heavy minion-based deck, I think you would still play Nourish over Lunar Visions. 3 mana spell, Pilfered Power. Gain an empty mana crystal for each friendly minion. Alright, and another spell which I don't think is good enough to play. It's super difficult to get some use from it. The best option, the best case is when you go for like Living Roots and you have like 2-drop. Roots don't play 2 drops right now. And then you play Pilfered Power, gain 3 crystals. If you have so much early game, you probably don't even need so much ramp. That's a problem, right? And if you build your deck around this spell, you have a bunch of 1-2 drops and a bunch of late game. It still doesn't make sense. Because oftentimes you'll just not get this card, and you're just stuck with your small, cheap creatures without any mid-game. Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think it will see any play. Lotus Agent, the 3-parameter card, Battlecry Discover, Druid, Rogue, or Shaman card, 5/3 stats for 5 mana. For Druid, Rogue, or Shaman. Ethereal Conjurer is the closest comparison. Okay, I mean, Ethereal Conjurer is a fine card. This one has 1 stat less, kind of serves same purpose. For Druid, Rogue, or Shaman, I don't think you'll play it in Druid or Rogue, just too slow. You need Other Drake spell power. Yeah, and not like Ethereal Conjurer is seeing any use right now. Other Drake is just better. So my judgment on this card, you don't see any play. It's pretty good in arena, so. Mark of the Lotus, 1 mana, give your minions +2/+2. It seems like it's a better version of Power of the Wild, and it's definitely a good card for token deck. It has a good synergy with Violet Teacher. You wanna buff a bunch of small tokens. If you play like Agent Squire, just use Mark of the Lotus, seems good. So I would rate it high. I think it can replace Mark of the Wild, or even play as an addition to Mark of the Wild, maybe 1 Mark of the Wild, 2 Marks of Lotus. So together I think it's a good card for a token deck. We'll see it being played in token decks. Question is if token decks are better than Madagas, but we'll see. For match we got Manic Soulcaster, 3 mana Battlecry, choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy into your deck. 3 mana 3/4 stat line is okay. If it does something, it does kind of nothing. So Battlecry is only useful for Fatigue deck. Fatigue Mage can get some use from it. Other than that, I don't think it's playable. For Paladin we got Vicar Flame, Burns Bristol. 3 mana 2/2 Divine Shield, Taunt. Damage dealt by this minion also heals your hero. 3 mana 2/2 Divine Shield. Stat line, okay. Creature seems fine. It can heal you, really good defensive tool. If you play some kind of mid-rangey and towards the early game, Paladin Seems like a good creature. It also has Divine Shield. It has synergy with Riding Blade. Seems like a decent fit for more aggressive or mid-range decks. I like it. Small time recruits 3 mana spell for a paladin. Draw 3 1-cost minions from your deck. I think it's good for Divine Favor Paladin. If you play a bunch of 1-drops, you play this card too. You play it, you get 3 1-drops, you don't have them in your deck anymore. So on turn 4 and turn 5, you're less likely to draw a 1-drop. So it seems like a good fit for Divine Favor Paladin. Other than that, I don't think it was to play a bunch of 1-drops in any other deck to justify playing this spell. 1 mana Mean Street Marshal, 1/2 stat line, and Death Rattle if this minion has 2 or more attack, draw a card, Paladin card. Alright, so it's something sticky, you can buff and trade. I think this creature is worth playing, again in Divine Favor deck with this new small time recruit spell. Just play it out, maybe buff it with your Abusive Sergeant, and trade it into something later, or just leave it on the board if it's uncontested. Buff it later with Skipper of Uldaman, Blessing of Kings, Blessing of Might. Seems good. You'll see it play in Divine Favor Paladin, I think. Getaway Coda. It's a secret 1 mana for Paladin. When a friendly minion dies, return it to your hand. Right, so classic comparison to Redemption. If you cast Redemption, you get minion back at 1 life. This puts it into your hand. Again, instead of playing the Getaway Coda, you can just play a card, right? You can play any minion you want to put in your deck. And it's also worth 1 mana, it's not free. If you can pull off this with Styrian, I think Redemption is stronger. So I don't think it will see any play except for Mysterious Challenger deck. If you get the secret for free, it's nice to have it. If Mysterious Challenger is getting removed, you will get another Challenger into your hand, and you also get it for free if you play Challenger. So I think as a one-off in Mysterious Challenger deck, it seems like a good fit. Other than that, you will not see it play anywhere. Counterfeit Coin. Just a regular coin, but it's a regular card. People say it's OP, some people say it's useless. It's like twice as big as Innervate, but it's for Rogue, and Rogue is using Auctioneer, as you know. These Auctioneer coins are really strong. My personal judgment on it, I think it's not good enough to play it in a Malygos Rogue, but in Quest and Adventure Rogue, I think it's good enough to play. Any cheap spell with Quest and Adventure Rogue just give you this extreme powerful plays early game when you can point out 1 cleave, grab something, make a really big creature, and just win the game just with 1 minion on the board if there's no answer. Quest and Adventure Rogue, I think, is good enough to play. For Malygos Rogue, I think you need to have something more impactful. Right, neutral minions. Finja, the Flying Star. 5 mana to 4 stealth. Whenever this attacks, kills a minion, summon 2 Murlocs from your deck. Murloc decks, I mean, if you play like a bunch of small Murlocs, it's probably not worth it to play the Finja. Again, Murlocs aren't anything right now except Paladin. Anything Paladin is kind of okay. So question is it worth to play it in anything Paladin? I think it is. You might say it will screw up your combo. On turn 10 you will get 2 Finjas and you will deal much less damage as a result. But it doesn't come down to anything too often. It comes down to anything maybe 1 game out of 4. When you really need this burst. Every single Murloc you got summoned. Maybe 1 game out of 6 even. So it's just irrelevant then in most cases if you get this 2/4 on the board. And oftentimes you just play this anything. First anything becomes much stronger if you get Finja on the board. Because first anything is normally kind of small. And it also makes first anything dealing much more damage. Because if Finja summons 2 Murlocs, your first anything will be strong. Like it will be 4, 5 Murlocs normally. So it also 2/4 with stealth. It's really difficult to remove it. So it's really bad to play this against Control Warrior, I guess, because it's really difficult to find a minion to kill, to trade into with this guy, and also he'll be summoned later in game. But if you play it into existing board, I doubt Warrior will kill his own minion to play around Fincher summoning stuff. So I think it's worth playing. In most matchups, it's a really good fit, really powerful minion to have. You kill it, you get 2 5/4s, 2 war leaders, or a war leader and a 4/2 charge. So you get a 2/4, a 3/3, a 4/2 charge, or a 2/4 and 2 5/4s. It's really good, right? It's worth playing. So I think it's a good fit for anything paladin. 1 mana patches the pirate, 1 mana 1/1 minion. Charge. After you play pirate, summon this minion from your deck. Smorg. It's a good creature to have. Aggro Warriors right now play 6 pirates. Just get the 1/1 for free with charge. Except when you get it at the really beginning, and then you just play it from hand, and you get the 1/1 with charge. It's okay. Even if you play it on turn 1, even if you drew it, it's still good. But if you play a pirate, you get it for free. And it's just crazy. So it's a natural fit to any Smorg Warrior. Pay to win, guys. Smorg Warrior isn't so cheap anymore. 6 mana, Wind Up, Bergobot. Whenever this attacks a minion and survives, draw a card. 5/5 stats, mech. That's a bad card, bad for Arena, bad for Constructed. Will not see any play. It's on bottom 30% in Arena, I think. Not so good. 3 mana, 3/7, Fell Orc, Soul Friend. At the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to this minion. Right, so you play it. Your opponent needs to deal 5 damage to remove it if he wants to. Or he can just wait and it will kill himself. So you get like 1 trade with it and then just kills himself. Just seems like a weak minion. I would rate it really low. Even in Arena, it seems just bad. 6 mana, Big Time Racketeer. 6 mana, 1/1 Battle Cry, summon a 6/6 Ogre. It's a good card for Arena. You don't play Baldy Fist Ogre in Constructed, so... And you can compare the card to Baldy Fist Ogre, so I don't think it will see any play in Constructed. You play like Barnes and Big Time Racketeer, you extend your board into any type of AoE. Yeah, Brawl, whatever, you just don't play it. Even if you play Barnes. And also I need to mention that it's a huge nerf for Moonglade Portal. If Moonglade Portal was played before, I think now no one will even consider putting it into the deck. Because this card is just... You don't want to get a 1/1 from a Moonglade Portal. This is just crazy, terrible, right? You spend 6 mana and summon a 1/1. Probably lose the game oftentimes after that. 5 mana, 4/5, second rate Bruiser. Taunt cost 2 less if your opponent has at least 3 minions. Seems decent for Arena. In Constructed, if your opponent has 3 minions, you're really behind board. You probably don't want a 4/5 for 3 mana, you probably want AoE instead. I don't think it will see any play in Constructed. It's not versatile, doesn't do much. Cookie Chemist, 4 mana, 4/4, and Battle Cry swaps the attack and health of a minion. Same as Quest Alchemist. Reason why Quest Alchemist see any play right now is because it connects Doomsayer really well. And this card even has a stat line weaker than a Yeti. I think as a 4/5 it would have been okay. Maybe play it in a Priest, maybe even not. Oh, you can actually use Cookie Chemist in a Priest together with Pin's Size Potion. If you can swap attack down to 0, you can use Cookie Chemist afterwards and kill the creature with 3 attack. Deal is like Thunderbluff Baleine this way. Interesting. And still, so many good cards Priest can have really right now. Playing Cookie Chemist doesn't seem worth it. For Arena it's okay, for body it's fine fit, I think. Friendly Bartender, 2 mana, 2/3. At the end of your turn is to 1 health to your hero. It's a bad minion. It's like a 2/3 creature for Arena. You don't care about healing. In Constructed, text isn't worth playing 2/3. Not good. Mistress of Mixtures, 1 mana, 2/2. Death Rattle, restore 4 health to both players. So this is an interesting card. I think I would put it into my Arena decks because effect is similar to a Refreshment Vendor. And for like Vorok, for Arena Lock, I think it's a really good creature. 1 mana, 2/2. pretty good, I think. It's a bit weaker than Zombie Chow, but it has like a good synergy with Power Overwhelming and Shadow Flame. You can Power Overwhelming it, Shadow Flame it, and heal for 4 same time, and it's turn 6. It's pretty early. I'll play it in my arena luck for sure. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the card review. See you next time, bye.
This video is brought to you by G2A.com.